Heya Cryptozens, it's 10 p.m. Pacific time. My name is Nikodemus, and welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter, where we take a nightly look at the crypto, NFT, and metaverse space. And keep in mind, nothing in this show should ever be considered financial advice. It's 10 p.m. on a Thursday, December 15th, 2022. Quick news flash right at the top. Sam Bankman-Fried has submitted another request for bail. Bahamas media outlet Eyewitness News reported Thursday that the Supreme Court of the Bahamas would hear SBF's new bail application. The hearing for that application will be held on January 17th. So again, Sam has reapplied for bail. That hearing is kind of a ways off. I'm telling you, Sam, it would just be easier to get extradited. And hey, you won't be sitting in Fox Hill. But whatever. The crypto industry is asking for regulations in the United States. However, most regulators say that they need more power from Congress to do their job. A campaign from lawmakers has not yet shown a clear path forward, a path that may depend on Senator Sherrod Brown, chairman of the Senate Banking Committee. Now, he recently asked a witness if crypto platforms could comply with regulations. The witness said no, and added that the industry is asking for regulation that it can comply with. Brown said that was a good answer. Lawmakers in a hearing about the crypto industry expressed condemnation and suspicion from their Democrats. It also heard insistence from Republicans that technology is not to blame. So their sides. One side wants to blame the assets. The other side wants to blame the asses in charge. Now, this hearing did not reveal what lawmakers might do about the industry next year. The chairman of the hearing suggested that one more priority may be going after the structure of big crypto firms. He said that existing bank and securities laws could provide time-tested approaches for addressing the risks from conflicts at crypto platforms that combine multiple functions. The FTX and Alameda research firms were mentioned as examples of companies that combine their funds and accounts in ways that would be illegal in the U.S. financial industry. Meanwhile, the Securities Exchange Commission is moving forward with its strategy of crypto oversight via enforcement actions. The agency recently accused FTX and its former CEO of defrauding investors. Chair Gensler has said that the agency has the power to force digital assets companies to comply with securities regulations. And further, he warned that the standoff with crypto firms is nearing its end. However, other regulators, such as the Treasury Secretary, argued that a wider effort across the federal government is needed. This would likely involve debates in several committees and may take months to make progress. Any action from the Senate will also have to be consistent with the views of the House of Representatives if it wants to move forward. Committee members have questioned whether establishing regulations would give the industry too much credibility. The committee had planned to have Sam Bankman-Fried testify, but he failed to confirm his appearance and then was later arrested before the hearing, so it didn't really matter. The current CEO, John J. Ray III, did not appear before the committee. Some Republican senators did not attend the hearing, and the crypto views of the incoming ranking Republican on the committee are unclear. The outgoing ranking Republican, Senator Pat Toomey, has been one of the industry's most reliable defenders in Congress. Toomey, who is retiring from the Senate, said that the actions inside FTX seem to have been illegal and that Sam's arrest should come as no surprise. However, he argued against blaming digital assets, saying that there is nothing inherently good or evil about software and that FTX and cryptocurrencies are not the same thing. Well said, Senator. Senate lawmakers are also taking a close look at Binance in the wake of FTX's collapse. Concerns about money laundering and the impact of the financial sector were discussed at the hearing. Binance's involvement in its rival's failure was also discussed. The hearing included celebrity and expert witnesses. Senator Bill Hagerty expressed concern that a collapse of Binance would be catastrophic for the industry and consumers alike. And I think the senator is exactly right. He also mentioned the potential links between Binance and the Chinese government, which a Binance spokesperson denied. Other senators and witnesses shared the same concern. Senator Mark Warner expressed similar concerns about Binance as Senator Hagerty. Beyond that, he also commented on China's ban of digital assets. A Binance spokesperson said that the company is not Chinese and does not conduct business in China. A witness at Wednesday's hearing argued that having an unclear regulatory hostile system in the United States could lead to banning cryptocurrency. It could also mean to losing American dominance in technological innovations. Mr. Wonderful, aka Kevin O'Leary, he criticized Binance as being a massive, unregulated global monopoly. O'Leary claimed that Sam Bankman-Fried told him that the firm's financial insolvency was caused by buying out Binance. However, prosecutor accounts and testimony from the new FTX CEO may cast some doubt on this story. O'Leary also said that SBF was pressured to buy back FTX shares from CZ because CZ would not comply with regulatory requests. This prevented FTX from acquiring licenses to operate. O'Leary said that Binance and FTX were at war with each other, and one intentionally put the other out of business. FTX's collapse started with a story that questioned Alameda Research's balance sheet. Binance's CEO said that he would sell a large position of FTX's token, FTT. That caused the price to drop. Binance briefly considered buying FTX, but quickly withdrew from the deal. FTX filed for bankruptcy protection soon after. Meanwhile, lawmakers in both parties have raised questions about Binance. Senator Hagerty said that U.S. regulators are limited in their ability to mandate audits or disclosure of Binance's operations because the company operates outside of the U.S. system. And we now know who called the cops on FTX. It was an executive at FTX's Bahamian branch that warned local regulators about potential fraud at the cryptocurrency exchange. This happened just 2 days before it was shut down. Court records show that Ryan Salame, the former co-CEO of FTX Digital Markets, informed the Securities Commission of the Bahamas on November 9th that FTX was sending customer funds to its sister trading firm Alameda Research. He said that the funds were sent to cover losses at Alameda without the consent of their clients. He said that there were only 3 people that had access to transfer client assets to Alameda. Those 3 people were SBF, Gary Wang, and Nishad Singh. This allegation is what prompted the Commission's executive director, Christina Rollet, to contact the Commissioner of the Royal Bahamian Police Force to request an investigation. This was as the information, quote, may constitute misappropriation, theft, fraud, or some other crime. The next day, the SCB froze FDM's assets, suspended its registration in the country, and the Bahamian Supreme Court appointed a provisional liquidator to preserve the company's assets. Now, court records show that this is the first known instance of an executive from FTX or Alameda assisting authorities. Ryan is believed to be in Washington, D.C., and has not spoken publicly since the exchange's collapse. His last public tweet was on November 7th, in which he replied "law" to a Binance co-founder after she explained why the exchange sold its FTX token holdings. And we brought this up on the show before, but there's still a question about another former executive from FTX's affiliated companies who may have been assisting authorities in recent weeks. On December 4th, there was speculation that Alameda CEO Caroline Ellison may have been making a deal with authorities after photos emerged of her in a New York coffee shop near the U.S. Attorney's Office. Now, so far, SBF is the only person from FTX and Alameda to have been charged, suggesting that executives from both firms are assisting authorities. He faces charges related to money laundering, campaign finance violations, wire fraud, and securities fraud. Now, it's been reported that SBF, Wang, Singh, and Ellison operated a group chat on Signal called Wire Fraud. Now, that was used to send secret information about FTX and Alameda's operations. Sam, of course, denies any knowledge or involvement in this group. A bankruptcy judge will hear evidence about assets moving out of FTX and its affiliated companies. This is part of the legal struggle between FTX's new leadership and its former CEO. John J. Ray III and FTX's lawyers claim that Sam, Gary Wang, and the Bahamian government have worked together to shield assets from U.S. court proceedings. FTX's new leadership wants to block lawyers representing FTX Digital Markets from accessing the computer systems of the subsidiary. FTX Digital Markets lost a large amount of assets after SBF moved the company into bankruptcy protection. The Bahamian Securities Commission said it now holds a portion of those assets. FTX's lawyers want the Bahamian government and the Securities Commission to have immediate access to these systems. Now, FTX's lawyers want the lawyers blocked because previous access has led to the movement of assets out of FTX and into the control of the Bahamian regulator. This may violate U.S. bankruptcy law, and the lawyers suggested providing static access instead of dynamic. One of the liquidators asked the judge for continuous access to the systems and said that the liquidators should not have to prove that there was no collusion before getting access. The full hearing on the issue is scheduled for January 6th. Now, this adds to Sam's legal concerns as accusations of operating in bad faith have been made against the lawyers that he hired and the Bahamian government. The January 6th hearing could include witnesses, possibly including SBF. Judge Dorsey asked lawyers representing FTX, the lawyers hired by Sam Bankman-Fried, and representatives of the Bahamian government to try to resolve the issue. FTX's lawyers filed documents showing emails between Bankman-Fried and the Bahamian Attorney General. Those documents show Sam offering to make Bahamian customers whole before anybody else. And as we talked about this last night, the lawyers connected to this movement of the assets said that Bankman-Fried and another co-founder minted new tokens and included them in the assets transferred to the Bahamian government after filing for U.S. bankruptcy. The Bahamian government and the Securities Commission do not recognize the bankruptcy process. They maintain their jurisdiction over the Bahamian operation. A hearing in the case is scheduled for Friday in case lawyers need to hear further arguments around the computer access issue. So this has the potential to turn into a nasty turf war between the U.S. and the Bahamas. Binance announced that it would be delisting 4 tokens. These tokens include Mithril, and that is scheduled to happen on December 22nd. Binance said that they were being delisted for failing to meet, quote, the high level of standard we expect. Now, Mithril is a decentralized social media protocol. Their token has a market cap of less than $10 million. They responded on Twitter, quote, today, Binance announced that it would delist Myth. As a part of the Myth listing, Binance required a 200,000 BNB deposit, which was never returned. On behalf of the Mithril community, we ask CZ to return this deposit so that Mithril may continue to operate. So you see what happened. Mithril wanted to be on Binance. Binance said that Mithril had to pony up a deposit in order to get listed. Now, Binance is delisting them, and Mithril wants their money back. When they deposited that BNB, it was valued at $1.9 million. It's now worth $52.7 million. Users have criticized the Mithril Twitter account, which has not been active for almost 2 years, and the project's website is also dead. It seems like this issue is a bit more complicated than previously thought. In a listing document published by Binance on November 2018, the exchange said that they would be listing the Myth Bitcoin and Myth Binance Coin trading pairs. The document said that Mithril's team made a $20,000 BNB equivalent donation. That donation went to the Blockchain Charity Foundation, quote, in appreciation for this listing. Binance previously solicited considerations from newly listed projects which it denied were listing fees. These policies have since changed. However, listing fees doesn't sound like a thing that should be refunded if they were indeed listed. Now, Microsoft is taking action to improve the stability of its cloud services, or so they say. That's the excuse they gave for implementing new restrictions on activities such as cryptocurrency mining. The company has banned crypto mining on its online services, allegedly to better protect its customers and clouds. These new restrictions are part of its universal license of terms that Microsoft Online Services, and they were updated on December 1st to specifically state, quote, mining cryptocurrency is prohibited without prior Microsoft approval. The acceptable use policy now requires written pre-approval from the company for using any of its online services for cryptocurrency mining. The company has said that the new restrictions are intended to protect its services from risks like cyber fraud and unauthorized access to consumer resources. According to Microsoft, the changes were made, quote, to further protect our customers and mitigate the risk of disrupting or impairing services in the Microsoft cloud. Microsoft said that it may consider granting permission to mine cryptocurrency for testing and research purposes related to security detections. Microsoft Online Services is a component of the company's software as a service strategy, and includes services like Azure Cloud Computing Network. That offers cryptocurrency mining on certain subscription types. Microsoft previously experimented with blockchain services on Azure, but terminated its Azure Blockchain Service project in September of 2019. Their cloud computing systems have reportedly experienced capacity shortages in recent years due to supply chain limitations. Some reports indicate that more than half a dozen Azure data centers are expected to remain limited until early next year. By implementing these new restrictions, Microsoft is joining other cloud computing providers like Google, which also prohibits customers from engaging cryptocurrency mining without prior written approval. Other platforms, such as Oracle, have banned cloud mining altogether, while DigitalOcean also requires written permission. Cloud mining is a method of investing in cryptocurrency that allows users to mine digital coins without using mining equipment or hardware. Instead, it relies on a remote data center with shared processing power. Blockchain research group Blockchain Council says that cloud mining is one of the most profitable ways to mine crypto because it doesn't require customers to pay for equipment and related costs. This announcement from Microsoft about their restrictions on crypto mining comes as the cryptocurrency mining industry is facing a major crisis due to the current cryptocurrency winter. Coinbase has introduced a tool to help users recover assets that have been sent to incorrect addresses. The tool applies to around 4,000 ERC20 tokens, including wrapped Ether, True USD, and staked Ether. Coinbase will charge a fee of 5% on transactions worth more than $100. The company said it uses patent-pending technology to move funds directly from users' inbound addresses to their self-custodial wallets without exposing private keys at any point. This tool is aimed at addressing a common issue in the crypto world, with several high-profile cases of funds being sent to the wrong address. Other major exchanges handle such transactions on a case-by-case basis, but Coinbase has introduced a more standardized solution. It'll be interesting to see what the reception from crypto Twitter will be, because for some rugged individualists, the idea of crypto, the appeal, is that there are no guardrails. On the other hand, some people will be relieved to find out that there is a possible solution to a common problem. And that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank you, my listeners, because when you stop listening, I will stop talking. We'll see you tomorrow night.